No! Avril, this conspiracy theory about you is a little creepy. Come on.
Oh.
There's a conspiracy theory that Avril Lavigne is no longer with us, and there is a woman named Melissa who took over, and you, I can't even say it seriously, you sitting across from me, you are Melissa, and there are like conspiracy theories that run so fucking deep. Like, does it annoy you that there will be people that comment on this episode being like, that's Melissa, that's not Avril?
When did it start? My second album? Like,
welcome to this mysterious world where nothing is as it seems. Today, we dive into the strange and fascinating realm of conspiracy theories suggesting that celebrities like Avril Lavigne, Paul McCartney, and others were secretly replaced or are living under entirely new identities. Were these icons truly replaced with doubles, or are these claims just far-fetched speculation? Join us as we uncover the enigmatic and captivating stories behind these famous names. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss our deep dives into these intriguing mysteries. A popular conspiracy theory about Paul McCartney claims that he died in a car accident in 1966 and was replaced by a lookalike. According to this theory, the Beatles and their management concealed McCartney's death to avoid the shock it would cause to the public. Allegedly, hidden messages and clues were left in Beatles albums, album covers, and song lyrics pointing to Paul's death. However, this theory has not been widely proven and is mostly regarded as an urban legend. According to the claims, Paul McCartney, the legendary Beatles member who drew attention once again with his performance at the Live 8 concert, actually died in a car crash in 1966. However, the record company, motivated by sales concerns, chose to hide his death and replace him. Allegedly, a Paul lookalike contest was held immediately after the night of the accident, and the winner, a man named William Campbell, underwent a series of plastic surgeries to take McCartney's place. However, band members, particularly John Lennon, reportedly suffered moral distress from hiding this secret and left clues in their albums and songs to allow fans to discover the truth. In 1969, Paul McCartney addressed the claim saying, "I am alive and well and unconcerned about the rumors of my death. But if I were dead, I would be the last to know." Logical and illogical aspects of the theory. Among the claims made by supposed witnesses to the accident is that the damaged car was hidden with government assistance. This, according to the theory, stemmed from the government's desire to maintain its influence over the counterculture movement of the 1960s and the Beatles' role in softening social upheavals.
Every country's had a violent revolution for one reason or the other. Not one of them has the freedom we're all talking about. So we're saying give peace a chance, like nobody's ever done it before. And it's not a matter of, we're not thinking in terms of 10 years, we're thinking in terms of peace forever, And everybody's talking about now. I want peace now. We can get peace now if we want it now.
The government allegedly sought to prevent the Beatles from disbanding to keep the flower child generation under easier control. This theory highlights the Beatles' cultural and political influence and draws attention to the alleged government intervention behind the event. Those who argue for the theory's validity present the hidden messages supposedly left by the band as evidence. Magical Mystery Tour. For example, when the song "I Am the Walrus" is played backward, one can hear the phrase, "Paul is dead, haha." Allegedly playing "I'm So Tired" backward reveals John Lennon saying, "Paul is dead, man. Miss him, miss him." On the album cover, Paul is the only person dressed in black. In a photo where everyone wears red flowers on their lapels, Paul is the only one with a black flower. There are many details like these and so on. I will share the rest later in a detailed video about Paul. Can all these clues be coincidences? Of course not. But why would the Beatles, who were supposedly hiding Paul's death, leave such messages to reveal the truth? Doesn't that seem illogical to you? Fans, however, counter this by saying, the Beatles, particularly John Lennon, were regretful and unhappy about hiding Paul McCartney's death. Therefore, they left clues behind so fans could understand. However, in my opinion, this was likely done as a publicity stunt. Ringo Starr, the Beatles' drummer, made a statement that aligns with my view. Starr said they had a lot of fun with this claim and used it for publicity. The Beatles decided to hide secret messages in their songs, fueling this myth and making people believe there was legitimacy behind the Paul is dead story. In an interview, Starr called the Paul is dead theory his favorite conspiracy about the band. We only ever had one that stuck. That was Paul is dead. And there were some songs people pointed out as being secret. John, by accident, learned how to play a tape backward, and we put that to full use. Starr continued. So we'd just do something silly at the end of a track, and it'd be all over the newspapers and on the radio. They're actually singing blah 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 blah. It just made us all laugh. All of those interesting things we said were not that interesting. We had a great laugh about that. Look at what they're saying now. Thus, Starr admitted they used this theory for publicity. Further, logical inconsistency. Finding someone with a similar face may be possible, but finding someone with the same level of talent, an exceptional guitarist, pianist, vocalist, and songwriter, regarded as one of the greatest musicians of all time, is an unrealistic scenario. Moreover, another inconsistency is that if Paul McCartney were indeed replaced, a similar approach would have been taken when John Lennon died. If the Beatles replaced Paul to continue their music, why wasn't a similar solution implemented for John? John Lennon's death in 1980 deeply affected the Beatles and their fans, but such a replacement was not attempted. This presents a strong argument questioning the logical consistency of claims about Paul McCartney being replaced. Furthermore, the tragic death of a famous artist often sparks public interest and increases sales. For instance, Heath Ledger's passing significantly boosted interest in The Dark Knight, breaking box office records. Similarly, Paul Walker's death also brought massive attention to the Fast and Furious series. Had Paul McCartney truly died in 1966, it likely would have boosted the Beatles' album sales. Likewise, John Lennon's death in 1980 increased interest in the band's music and their sales. From both economic and media perspectives, the theory of replacing McCartney appears inconsistent. Despite all this, websites dedicated to the Paul is dead theory and discussions about clues still exist today. Beatles fans continue to share the clues they've found and their interpretations on these platforms. As always, we can never be entirely sure of the truth. So what do you think? Was Paul really dead? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. One of the intriguing theories about Beyoncé is the claim that she is either a clone or has been replaced by someone else. This theory is linked to sudden changes in her career, subtle differences in her facial features, and strange behaviors noticed by some fans during her performances. Some theorists suggest that Beyoncé might have been replaced at the peak of her fame. As a powerful figure in the music industry, she could have been replaced by a clone or a lookalike. Supporters of this theory point to minor facial differences and body language in interviews as evidence. A more far-fetched theory claims that Beyoncé is under the control of the Illuminati and that her replacement serves the organization's interests. According to these theories, the idea of a fake Beyoncé is reinforced by symbols in her performances and cryptic messages in her music videos. Although accusations of serving the devil are widespread and often blatant in the music industry, theories like cloning often arise because celebrities are so frequently in the public eye that even the smallest changes spark significant speculation. The theories about Eminem claim that he died in the early 2000s and was replaced by a clone or a double. These theories are based on changes in Eminem's physical appearance, his musical style, and some strange behaviors. According to supporters of the theory, Eminem passed away in 2005 due to an overdose, and the music industry replaced him with a clone or a double to keep his career alive. Minor facial differences, changes in his voice tone, and a shift in his musical style compared to his earlier albums are often cited as evidence. Many theorists highlight Eminem's unusual behavior during his 2009 BET freestyle performance as proof. In this performance, his facial expressions and body language led fans to ask Is that really Eminem? Some fans believe Eminem left cryptic messages in his lyrics, hinting at his supposed replacement. For example, melancholic and dark themes in songs like Stan are interpreted as subtle clues. These theories are largely based on speculation and lack concrete evidence. Eminem's physical and musical transformations can be explained as part of his growth as an artist. For instance, his recovery from addiction and transition to a new lifestyle may have influenced both his appearance and his music. That said, it's important to remember that many celebrities use doubles for practical reasons. However, this doesn't mean the original celebrity has died. Do you think Eminem could really be dead? What are your thoughts on this theory? Let us know in the comments below. The theory about Andrew WK is one of the most intriguing and bizarre conspiracy theories to emerge in the music world. According to this theory, Andrew WK lost his real identity during the early 2000s when he first rose to fame, and another individual took his place. The theory claims that after Andrew WK made his debut in 2001, the real Andrew WK disappeared in 2005 and was replaced by someone else. This new individual is said to have continued his career under the Andrew WK identity. Supporters of this theory point to small changes in Andrew WK's physical appearance, such as facial structure and jawline, and differences in his stage performances as evidence. According to the theory, Andrew WK's stage energy and musical style underwent significant changes after 2005. Some fans believe these changes were not a result of personal growth, but rather an attempt to hide the truth that someone else had taken his place. Proponents of the theory also claim that Andrew WK's managers and production team played a role in this change. Allegedly, the original Andrew WK was removed due to pressure from the record label, and another person was brought in to replace him. The changes in physical appearance and behavior can, of course, be explained by aging, fatigue, or shifts in career direction. However, interestingly, Andrew WK has not completely denied these allegations and has addressed the topic in a curious manner in several interviews. In one interview, he stated, "I am Andrew WK, but no one really knows what I am or what I'm a part of." Such remarks have been interpreted by proponents of the theory as an attempt to conceal the truth. In a 2015 interview, Andrew WK sat down with Larry King and tried to clear up some of the rumors surrounding his early career. However, instead of putting the speculation to rest, WK only made the conspiracy theory seem more plausible. He told King that the claims of him being a replacement WK are based on some truth, before adding that the answer ultimately doesn't matter. He even compared himself to Santa Claus.
Before we get into some other topics, we announced you were going to be here. We got a multitude of blogs and websites dedicated to saying you're a fraud. There are a variety of theories regarding your identity, many claiming that you're no longer the same Andrew WK, that somehow in middle of the year 2005, the original Andrew WK went somewhere and a new Andrew WK, that you're not the same person you were. How do you respond to all of this, which is a mystery to me?
Well, I guess I'm always dreading someone asking about this, and especially someone of your stature, but I'm glad in a way as well. I think these sorts of things, first of all, to anyone who's not familiar with me, why does it even matter? And it really doesn't, even if you are familiar with me, because what I hope people take away from me doesn't have to do with whether I even exist or not. For example, this is how I've thought about it to try to make myself feel better about these accusations. If you don't believe that Santa Claus exists, it doesn't mean that the joy that you would receive from the idea of Santa is any less valid.
But how did all this start? Why did they think that you were not the original you?
For better or worse, some of this is based on some bits of truth, or facts rather, and just in terms of, well, I've said some things that would lead people to these sorts of conclusions that I'm not proud of having said, and decisions that I've made of who to work with.
So you created part of the problem?
I added to it at one point, thinking that sort of by accepting it, it would deflect it.
One person who could answer it and end it all would be your father. All he has to do is say, "This is my son who I raised, and he's Andrew WK."
That's a very good idea, and I only wish.
So why doesn't he just step forward and end all those blogs and rumors? And
because he's probably in the restroom right now. Otherwise, we could get him on satellite, and he could clear all this up.
Why hasn't he done it?
Well, probably doesn't want to have anything to do with a lot of the side of my work, which is best just ignored. Not that you shouldn't have asked about it. I think it has to do with doubt, which is a healthy instinct, a healthy questioning.
So you like this
instinct? I like
this actually helps your persona. No, wait a minute. This is a good gimmick.
That's very kind of you to interpret.
Think about this. You create an aura that people even think you're not. That's a great gimmick.
Well, that's
on it.
whatever way you want to take it. That makes you think that
that's
I'm
your
cool.
party.
If I've impressed you, then I've succeeded.
Larry King described it as a great gimmick. But is it more than just clever personal branding? It is also believed that Andrew WK may have used these allegations as a playful PR strategy to maintain public intrigue. The Andrew WK theory has earned its place as a fun conspiracy theory within the music world. While the truth has never been definitively proven, the theory continues to captivate fans and spark debate. What do you think? Was Andrew WK really replaced? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The theory about Avril Lavigne is perhaps one of the most popular among all conspiracy theories. According to this theory, Lavigne passed away in 2003 and was replaced by a double named Melissa. The theory is linked to changes in her physical appearance, her shift in musical style, and some song lyrics. The theory first emerged in a Brazilian blog post. The post claimed that Lavigne's family concealed her death in 2003 and replaced her with someone who closely resembled her, Melissa Vandella. Allegedly, Avril Lavigne struggled to cope with fame and, overwhelmed by her emotions, took her own life. Fans point to subtle differences in Lavigne's facial features, height, and skin tone as evidence for the Melissa theory. They claim that photos taken before and after 2003 show noticeable difference. The transition in Avril Lavigne's musical style from her early punk rock sound to a more pop-oriented approach is also seen by theorists as the influence of the double they call Melissa. Some song lyrics are also cited as supporting this theory. For example, the dark themes in the Under My Skin album and certain expressions in songs like My Happy Ending are interpreted as messages hinting that Avril is no longer alive. Changes in Avril's autograph have also been presented as evidence. Theorists claim that her signature differs when compared to previous years. Avril Lavigne has generally laughed off these theories and continues to make music and perform on stage with her fans.
Is it strange that people think you're dead? Like, what the f***? I don't even know why, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it is weird. I think they don't have anything else to talk about right now. So at least they're talking. And I think it's like really silly that anyone would even believe that. But yeah, it's this huge rumor. It's not even just a rumor. It's that I'm dead. Aren't they saying like that, like I'm an imposter? I'm an imposter? Mm-hmm. Damn. So I like look that different. But then at the same time, other people will say that I haven't aged, and they'll take pictures of me from like way back and like now and be like, oh my gosh, she doesn't age, she looks the same. So it kind of doesn't really make any sense. I think people are just bored and they need something to talk about.
While I acknowledge that this theory has more realistic elements than those involving other celebrities, Lavigne's physical changes can be attributed to natural aging and career development. Changes in her musical style can also be explained as part of her personal and artistic growth. Additionally, it's worth noting that many celebrities may exhibit unusual behavior or changes in their public persona due to alleged mind control by malevolent organizations. Despite all this, I must admit that this theory seems more plausible compared to others, and we see that many people believe in this theory. So, are you one of those who believe Avril has truly passed away? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below.